Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if we're live, rocking and rolling, then you should hear it. We're good. So anyway, we're going to talk about like our normal stuff on our Sunday Stock Talk videos. We're going to talk about the markets, right? So the dollar, U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, the S&P, Nasdaq, and as of late, I mean, we've been doing the Russell, but that may or may not be in the future ones. There's just kind of nothing to talk about. It is still one of the major ones. It's the small caps, and I know Tom Lee is talking about it, which means all the other YouTubers are talking about it. But until it has its day, do we really need to break that down? Let me know. After that, we are going to talk about Tesla. There is a Sunday football game, so this live stream will be short, sweet, to the point of making everybody money, so you can live like an NFL player. All right, let's rock and roll. As far as the dollar goes, annoyingly, it is up. Annoyingly, because I'm incredibly short this thing. I did not want this to actually break above this weekly zone. So looking at it at the weekly, we played the back and forth game. Absolute monstrous week last week, which was ridiculous. But nonetheless, staying short. Going to go ahead and stay short this one. As of, I wonder if I just tagged out or not. I tagged out. Okay, so last week now I have a lot, but I had added on 3 lots right here at the stop right above that. That push up did tag out. I'm probably gonna hang out for. Let me just see. Let me see where I'm at. I kind of want to add on. I kind of don't. I do have enough. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this one to turn around. Again, kind of want it to break. Let's go over the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. See if we're on a daily zone. Naturally. All right, going to Owanda on the charts. Okay, yeah, should have seen that one coming. I'm gonna hang tight and see how we interact here. If we do get to that type 2 spot, I will add on. But that's kind of where I'm at on that one right now. Now I'm still incredibly short from a while ago, so I'm just watching my profits go from a lot of green to less green. But I want that to really sink. As far as Bitcoin goes, didn't quite make it to either yellow zone, up here or down here. So no real actionable spot for me to have taken anything. Not that I do anyway, but right now I guess you have to consider, is that just a little baby bear flag playing out? We're gonna sell this thing off, or is that a bull flag starting to break out up, or a mega bull flag right here? That really kind of is, all sarcasm aside. Right now, what we do have is, this is the wick, right? We dropped down, came right back up. This was my last buy point, was the bright yellow zone, which is why it was bright yellow. Just me talking about how I'll do it if it gets there. Getting it down to a smaller time frame, you'll see it a little bit clearer. That hits that zone, then bounces, but ultimately holds this line in the sand right here. We don't even test that again, so you can call that a higher low right here. This arguably would be probably your first higher low, realistically. Sold off, ultimately held, pushed up, sold off, still held, pushed up. But we made our higher high right here. So that's the start of a change, because anything before that is just horizontal. Making it to that previous high, horizontal, that's a higher high. No ifs, ands, or buts. Candle wicks, candle bodies, everything made it above. Even a couple of the smaller EMAs. But then sold back off. And now starting to turn around. So holding above that, I would say that's the start of your trend upwards. But really, you're gonna have a hard. I think you're gonna have a hard time getting above this $69,000 mark. And if you do, you have a zone full of sellers. You have a trend line right there. If anybody's thinking about going short on, however they're going short, you have all your sellers, all your reasons to be short right there. I think getting above that, Bitcoin probably could get exciting. So definitely keeping an eye out for that. And again, I buy it every Friday, so that doesn't change. If we do get above this and I start to see momentum picking up, that will be one of the times that I just add on. As far as the S&P goes, we did get a little bit of a gap up today. We're selling off right now. I got to really zoom in. All right, so as of now, here's Friday's close. We gapped up tag that yellow zone right now. And right now we found some sellers. So we'll have to see how that pans out. This is the futures market, so this is what drives the order flow into like the VOO or the SPY. A lot of the ETFs that a lot of people trade. Again, you'll always see me zone this out because I want to know I like to follow what's in charge, not what lags behind, or tries to play catch up in the morning. Which is always why you'll see zones on the futures. Again, that's what drives the order flow into those ETFs. Right now, a gap up. I got to say, we are. I was bullish last week, and we sold off a little bit. Friday was cool. Um, I got to say, if there was a case to be made about things being overbought, last week might have really cooled that off. I'm sure this candle has a name. I need to learn the candle names. But anyway, not really an indecisive week last week. When you look at this, we still sold off. We tried. Buyers picked it right back up. Last week was a garbage week for me because I either missed it or I didn't pull the trigger. Didn't really do much. Uh, but I think last week was the cool off week. And when things push up, you guys hear me say this a lot, they pull over or they pull back. And last week was pretty much a pull over week. A whole lot of nothing. If you weren't in futures or like individual stocks itself, if you were playing just SPY in general, you watched it go a little bit up, a little bit down, ultimately end the week up. Doji, would you call that a doji? Uh, and you might. I feel like a doji doesn't have a doji. I thought was like equal wicks to both sides and not really that big. And again, guys, you can just Google. Go to just Google images and look that up. There's no research you need to actually do. The name doesn't mean anything. The action is what does. Understanding what put that candle in the first place is what means something, regardless of the name. Man, I was kind of bearish. We were pushing up, and I kind of thought there's even a couple people in the chat that thought mid-October things are going to be red. There was a crash a long time ago that happened in October, so it used to be the October red, but then September, historically September started being red. Just not last September because that wasn't red. But just remember all the other times it will be. Go ahead and go all in short. But anyway, I was thinking we're kind of a little overbought. Maybe we get a little bit of some mid-October volatility, whatever the excuse is, and we would sell off. And I'm kind of on board that, and I'll get to why later. Tesla is one of the reasons. But if we were just sticking to the charts completely unbiased right now, I'd say it looks more like a grind up, and we're just going to continue this. Don says Dragonfly. I like Dragonfly. Dragonfly looks cool. Sounds cooler. They're naming it in the chat. Doji opens and closes at the same price. Or pretty near. Yeah, that didn't, and that had a longer wick. There's like a spinning star, a shooting top. Is it shooting stars? Shooting star, spinning top. There's a hammer in there. I don't know. Either way, let's not get lost in the name, but it does have one. But I would say all of that right there was the pullover week. Lori says that's a spinning top. She does know the names. Thank you. Maybe we'll wait for a robo taxi to turn bearish. Hey, you're getting ahead of yourselves. I do think so. All right, the NASDAQ. Ooh, right there at that yellow zone that doesn't mean anything. That's what someone said on TikTok a long time ago. Anyway, we gapped right to the top of that. If we could just exhaust all the sellers there, and right now there's about 4 people trading. It is the Tokyo market. If we could just break that wick, last week's high, I do think we're testing this zone right here. Wouldn't be surprised to see it actually break and hit this zone above. Are my lines working? One of these days, TradingView will get their act together, and my lines will work again. I guess everything about that just looks bullish to me. I mean, I don't like to just say bullish or bear. I like to have some kind of action with it. And the Nasdaq will be one that I play. But I was kind of debating on should I take a futures trade. Now the Nasdaq, if you guys have ever traded the futures, right? It's the runner, right now. If I were to break the three down, the Nasdaq, the S&P, and the Russell, the Nasdaq is your 100-meter dash sprinter. I mean, that thing is going for it. It can go a lot more than 100 meters. It just sprints. That's it. The S&P's got a nice little jog. The Russell, the small cap, turtle. That is the turtle on the lawnmower. It goes nowhere. It just kind of walks. It's one of the easier ones to trade because if you forget something, it's pretty forgiving. It doesn't exactly scream up and down. It's kind of like trading Apple. Doesn't really go anywhere. But that can get pricey because I don't have a fake account. It's a real account, not a Top Step, not a it'll give me money account like a lot of other people like to trade. Right? It's real money, up and down. What I would think about doing this week, I'm kind of. I think we grind up. I think we are bullish. If without a clear catalyst, without something blowing up, I think it's going to be more of a grind up, which makes trading futures a little bit harder because there's a lot of just wicks going down. You get in, it tags you out, turns around. By the time you get back in, you're setting yourself up for another loss, and you're just going to be embarrassed with yourself at the end of the week. I was trying to think out just off the top of my head, what would I grab? Could I just grab a cheap options contract? I don't know if it's worth going cheap and buy out of the money. But maybe I would grab a 490 call for Friday. I think that'd be the play. If I had to take it right now, it'd be a 490 call for Friday. I think the war will finally bring the market into reality. Are we going to war yet? What's up, Terry? I do like to say, hey, if I recognize your names, go to Sierra Chart. Never looked back. I will do that after the stream. I'll remember that. How's QQQ? That's what we literally just went over. If you're just joining, bullish, kind of. And if you're watching on TikTok, by the way, this is live on YouTube as well. TikTok doesn't show the recordings after you're live. So if you want to go catch the whole stream, you can go to YouTube and catch from the beginning. But I do go over the dollar, US dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, the S&P, the Nasdaq, which is QQQ, and then the Russell. Russell, I guess I'd have to be bullish. What are financials doing? Ooh, if financials, I do like financials. Right now, that looks more like a breakout setup. So now, personally, I would rather be long like XLF or let's see what JP Morgan looks like. Yeah, if JP Morgan get above that, Bank of America, at least it's already above that zone. What's Wells Fargo doing? Man, I think I don't want to. Typically, you'd think like that might be chasing. That might be your bullish signal. Getting above this, maybe a stop buy at 212.35. I certainly wouldn't want to go short it. If I was short, my stop would be 212.85, and no reason I'd still be in that. Even then, so financials hold the biggest part in the Russell. I think I'd rather just trade a financial instrument, though. I think JP Morgan would take the cake on that one. And for those of you that have a problem with bag holding, let's say you just make the decision to trade JP Morgan and you bag hold a little bit. You collect $1.25 dividend per share every quarter. And how long are you really going to be bag holding this thing for? And here's the Rona crash right here. I got to get this so it's on the TikTok stream. Here's the whole chart. Okay, you're doing all right. Sometimes if you have a problem with bag holding, risk management, and you just don't know what you're doing, it's fine. It's fair if you don't know what you're doing, right? Look at the chart. Does it go from the lower left to the upper right? Those are the more forgiving ones. Just remember, there is a difference between having a plan and bag holding. And one will just lose all your money. Next 20 years. Banks start having earnings on Friday. I think I'm bullish. All right, let's talk. This one's going to be a shorter stream. I'm sorry, guys. I said to the point because we do have a football game. Really, I just want to go watch the Chiefs as they beat the next player, maybe by like a toe. My piece of crap scam stock looks like JP Morgan, but the other way. Fair value. Gary doesn't sound like you're getting a fair value. So you're saying it looks like that just keeps heading south? Man, what's it like? I don't want to like you're having a bad time in here. I am just you can't even get on your phone without somebody making fun of it. You're already beating yourself up. Get out of that crap. XOM. I do like XOM. Just sending it. Let's check oil real quick before we get on to our last little bit. I missed the boat. After all the harping I did about bullish oil right here at this pink zone, I miss it. And I wanted to sell the oil futures is what I really wanted to sell on this particular one. I would want them to be juiced up first. Oh, so if I finally going somewhere? Jeez, it's about time. 785 would be my stop. I'd say this is the best SoFi's looked in a while. Nike. Does anybody even trade Nike? Oh gosh. Remember that one time that guy said zones don't mean anything? And I drew this months ago. But we go from this zone, gapped into that zone. I guess it was earnings. Now we're trying to hold. If I thought Nike was for some reason going to be a good one to hold, does anybody wear Nike makes like little ballerina shoes? Do your feet fit in Nike shoes? They're so skinny. I like Nike, but I can't wear them because they're like little girl shoes. Yeah, all egos aside, if you actually maybe I just have big feet. 81.45 would be my stop. I would catch this knife. 81.45 would be it. And no, never mind. I'd have to have it below that wick for sure. 80.85. Gosh, you're about $2.50 a share per that. That's not the best look. You could probably just wait. What you could end up doing is just set an alert right here. You know what? Put your alert at 85. Nike tags 85. You didn't miss out on the trade. I promise. You just got it when some other buyer showed up. This is an important one. This I do think is pulling over. To be clear, guys, I have 37s, 38s, and 39s calls sold against this. Every one of them I rolled and kept the same strike. I do think Palantir is a bit extended. I do think it's about to pull back. I started accumulating more in the growth account, and I am this close to not even buying any this week because I do think it does come back. We're as far as accumulating shares, we went over that rant last week. There's just not much to it when you're just grabbing a few shares. Never mind. I forgot. I sold all my Palantir in the growth account. Yeah, so if you caught that last week, we sold all of it. My main account still has the 37, 38, 39s. Calls sold against my shares. Growth account does have 0 shares of Palantir now. I will wait for a pullback to buy that one. What did we sell that for? Did we at least get close? Okay, sold all the Palantir at 40.10. Woo! What's the peak? By 20 cents. All right, so we sold, and by we, I just mean I just post all my plays real time. You do whatever you want with that information. Banging. I hope that thing melts to the ground. Lori has 36 puts sold. Oh, we sell off to 36.01, and then I will buy some. I would not mind buying it here at the if we get anywhere close 36, I think that'd be great. The reason why I made that decision with the growth account was because we had 50 shares in that. And remember, that's the account we started from 0, and it's rocking and rolling right now. Finally at the 5-digit mark, so a couple $100 doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it can. So $50 a share, and if it's going to pull back $4, we could just skip all of that, buy back in, get cute with it, skip a couple red candles, then get back in, and then we're good. Vigilant Investment says bad earnings too. Nike to 70s. You're not going to. You won't have me any pushback from me. Terry, I can never tell if you are sarcastic or not. He says, "You're such a good trader, sir." And I do. Maybe it's because I have a problem with taking compliments. It shaved off a good amount of margin, though. Yeah, we have a few bucks left in margin. If you've been following the growth count or been following me talking about it, we started it from zero. We had enough with margin to buy 100 shares of Nvidia. So we did that and started selling calls against it. We did not go into margin until we for sure could buy 100 because at that point it unlocked a weekly income. So that's what we're doing. Then we're using that money to buy more. Matt, you saying the Chiefs don't play tonight? Lisa says, I thought you bought 5 shares of Palantir in the growth account last week. Let's see. Where did I do that? Bought 5 shares of Palantir on 10-1 at 36.55. Yeah, I got up right here. And then on 10-4, sold all of it at 40.10. So yeah, the last buy in Palantir for us was 36.55. All right. Let's talk about this. I even tried to take notes on this one. Tesla's upcoming Robo Taxi event is set to unveil its highly anticipated Robo Taxi on October 10th, 2024. That is this week at Warner Bros. Studio. Good we're using that for something because AI has taken over that industry. So keep that barren wasteland up to use, right? The event will showcase Tesla's new autonomous vehicle technology, and the location is expected to help simulate a suburban neighborhood for a more realistic demonstration. Who I can feel the hate coming on this one because they set up a mock town. It'd be very easy to program that and just say, please don't run this over. This is a building. Don't hit that. This is what the stop sign is going to look like. And it's going to be like perfectly shaped. These will be laser cut stop signs. There will not be like any real life. I live here, got in the city. They're shot with a shotgun, I live close to Kansas. I live in Kansas City on the Missouri side. There's a Kansas City, Kansas, and in Kansas, everything's just weird. The lines, they don't even go straight. They're like, I don't know if they were drinking when they painted them. Weird. You won't have any of that in this thing. But that's all the buzz this week for Tesla. Last week we had deliveries. They did miss. Basically just took it zone to zone right here. Robotaxi this week, and then it's not next week, it's the following week that they have earnings. Now, if you actually know anything about Tesla, earnings is a nothing burger. There is a small chance Elon will come out there and say something wild. Now we send it up or down on that. More than likely, we have deliveries. We have a fairly good idea of what margins are, so you kind of know what to expect at earnings. Regardless of the solar and all the people love Tesla for the pipeline, but that's right now a fairy tale dream. Until it starts putting numbers on the paper and we don't just talk about cars, then it is just a car manufacturer. And we kind of have all the components we need to really guess that last digit. So there's not too much of a mover when it comes to Tesla's earnings. The delivery numbers typically are the earnings numbers. The Robo Taxi event, maybe Tesla just sends it, and maybe they do. But go back in history and find me one time where there wasn't an event for Tesla that wasn't a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And this is why if we didn't sell off last week, I was going to go short for this. Oh, wait. So it's is it Wednesday the 10th? When's the 10th? It's Thursday. Okay. So Thursday's man, I probably could have gone. You probably could have waited Thursday and bought Friday's expiration puts, which is not something I do. Typically, if I'm going to buy an options contract, it's at the money, a couple Fridays out. A couple weeks out, which might be 3 Fridays if it's on a Thursday. But I really wanted to probably just go short this thing. We sold off last week, and I think that kind of took some of the pressure out. Tesla was getting it was going up there quick. We're ignoring even the market selling off. Tesla's got its own green day going on. It just kept going. So I like it when it kind of all piles together. You have the we're overbought, the market might go to war, and then there's a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Kind of just have all those things on my side and then go short. So the fact that it's sold off on deliveries kind of sucks. But if we send it going into this event, I will probably be looking for a short entry on that one. Here's someone that probably never agrees with me on any of my Tesla stuff. Says, and I'm going to skip his name, but he says, now Elon has to make more outrageous BS. It is just, it's a stock marketing scam. Why do you hate Elon so much? Is it because he said he wasn't a Democrat? Don't lie. Did you like him before he said that? Um, I don't know. Stock marketing scam. I don't think it is, because we already have, oh gosh, what are the other ones? The Google one. You cannot short Tesla. Listen, if I short Tesla, just know all of you guys make money if you're bag holders. I have like a 97% chance of losing that trade every time I buy Tesla puts. If you look at my trade history, if I buy those puts and swing it, I have almost 100%. I buy puts and day trade it, 100% win rate on that. 97%, I'm going to lose that trade if I swing those puts overnight. So you guys should be happy if I do. Elon was a special guest at Trump's rally. I did that and actually got this information from Casey. She helped me out, and it was Google Trends. We were playing around with that. And the two reasons Elon is trending right now is the Robo taxi event and his political involvement. Elon Musk made headlines by sharing the stage with the former president Donald Trump in a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm sure there's an angle Elon is playing on this one. He's not stupid. Sometimes his tweets make you think otherwise. He is a salesman. He is. You have to be. First of all, you will not find a stock in the stock market that's doing well without one of those at your company. Case in point, you can go strictly sales. You can really fluff those numbers, and we can talk about Nikola. Okay, now that's all salesmen. Elon can do this and be who he is. Now he does not have to do any advertising, and you know who he is. You know what Teslas are. There's a lot of good that does come with that. There's also a lot of good companies that just have mummies out there for CEOs that can't talk, like their head's just wrapped up in toilet paper, and you have no idea who they are, and their stock just won't perform the same either. But anyway, once the Hollywood commercial is gonna power generation Powerwall rumored to be way up. Hopefully. Now, again, the reason why I actually liked Tesla in the beginning, if you started watching me on YouTube in 2016, 17, I liked Tesla back then. I did not care about the cars. And the biggest thing I like about Tesla is their energy. They're going to break into the energy field, and your electric bill will be to Tesla. Now, you have to figure out storage. Now, there's the Powerwall. That's you going kind of like off-grid stuff. But then there's Tesla decides to make all the power walls for themselves, attach it to the grid that's already there, and then start selling you power that way. That's going to be huge. That's a whole new industry that's not automotive. That was one of the biggest reasons why I like this company. Now I've gotten a lot of money off of it, so technically I was only coincidentally right as far as putting my money there versus why. So I like all the cool stuff. Hopefully they do it sooner than later. But I think that comment was to me saying right now they're an automotive company. Let's see. Where can we stream the game if we're protesting cable TV and pricing streaming services? Wink. I don't know because I have all of those. Why are we protesting them? Do I need to be Key Clayton, 26, not 27. He says up or down tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and say up. Vigilant Trader says, I'm actually a pro. Check out my P&L. I don't have a group. I just support other good traders. I appreciate that, man. I'm a solo trader and I like to listen in from time to time. That's actually how I am. I never listen. That's why I know what a lot of the other YouTubers are saying because I don't listen to the radio. I wish there were some other really good ones I could turn on though. They better get energy because his EV's gonna get slaughtered. No, I think you just hate him. There's no way. Not a single chance. Tesla still has the number one EV technology. Case in point, like remember it was just a little bit ago. Chevy told you don't park your cars in the garage because they'll burn your house down, and then they shut the factory down for a little bit. Elon took a lot of time to figure out, man, if this car gets in a wreck, a piece of rebar goes through the battery, it won't turn into a grenade. Haven't heard the other manufacturers say stuff like that. There's a lot of reasons why he is the number one as far as his EV goes. Only in China will Tesla lose. That's going to be a tough one because Tesla is a China. The Chinese Teslas are for China. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's not like we're not importing China. It's not like Teslas are made in China and then import over here. They are made in China for Chinese. So every bit about that is China. So, and I get that because China will always support their own people first. So you start thinking neo, but everything about that structure, everything about the way it's done, is rooted and built all in China. So I don't know. The China one, when people say that, I kind of want to push back. I think the knee jerk reaction is like, yeah, you're probably right, but at the same time, if you think about it, they're just China. They're China cars. BDO is taking the market share. Yeah, when they ever, I don't know. The BDO numbers they're not the same because they also have the EVs and they're just kind of comparing a bunch of numbers. But anyway, getting back to Tesla because I have to finish this one up. I think we run up into the event. I'm hoping we do. At that point, oh gosh, it's FOMO. FOMO is part of me. Like, if we run up, do I just continue? To be clear, guys, I am long Tesla already. What I'll probably end up doing is turning some of my calls into spreads. Probably like I have some 245 calls. I might sell some 250 spreads. I might sell some 255s. I'll do some kind of selling, whether I sell my actual calls and lock in the profit or I sell some calls against it, turn it into a spread, kind of go for that cherry on the top. Um, I'll at least do that. Depending on the circumstances, if we really send it, then I'll actually aggressively attack it and go puts. Um, Tank says, I don't think they will unveil a new car. Is anybody thinking they will? I don't think. I don't think they are. Maybe India gets the $25,000 car, but I don't think the United States doesn't. We don't need a smart car. We already have those. Like Ford doesn't even make cars anymore because all we buy are SUVs and trucks. So I think if anything, they just fiddle with what we already have. The Model 2 for Robo Taxi, is that what everybody's thinking? Um, I there was a whole thing about that, wasn't there? Wasn't there something leaked or something about that a long time ago? It would be its own division. Could bust up to 300. That'd be that would be pretty ambitious. If Tesla goes to 300, uh, I'll be really rich. But I don't. I'd probably better like playing the lottery for 300 this week. Robo taxi and robot news. If there's any robot news during this event, I hope there is. I'm all about that. That robot is. If you guys think the cars are cool, wait till Optimus is out there. Now I can argue with people for the next 12 hours as to when Optimus is coming out. I'm on the futurist side, I guess. But that will make all of this. Tesla will look like a $10 stock right now compared to what it will look like if Optimus starts getting sold to other companies and then homes. These cars are nothing, absolutely nothing. These are little RC cars on the shelf. But I want to sell Tesla. He's on my nerves with the dark evil stuff. Sorry, I don't know why I laughed at that. I don't know what dark evil stuff is, but I would say all this is 4 letters. And anytime you guys jump in the market, okay, whether it's a company you work for, a company you like, whether it's a different political party, it actually doesn't matter. You get down to brass tacks, your money is attached to 4 letters. That's it. Sometimes 3, 4 in the case of it's 1 letter. If your company is weird, it's 5 letters. No one likes those companies. But you have your money attached to these 4 letters on the ideology that someone else is going to buy it more, and then you're going to just make money on it. So all you need to be is just right on which 4 letters to pick. It's basically a giant game of Scrabble at this point. You just need a better salesman as a CEO. So keep it unbiased. As long as your money's going up, then you're in the right letters, and that's ultimately the game here. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Do me a huge favor, hit the follow, do all that thing, do all the things, the buttons, and maybe one day I'll be a YouTuber. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.